10 major inventions by ancient Egypt. The ancient Egyptians were responsible for many inventions that we commonly use and that we take for granted in today's world. Their ingenuity has advanced human civilization in many aspects, from medicine, art and crafts, architecture, lifestyle and leisure in the modern world. One. Writing hieroglyphs. Some of the earliest known ancient writing were discovered in Egypt. It is believed that writings were dated back to the 4 millennium BCE. The Egyptian writings were known as hieroglyphs. However, ancient writings were also reported to be found in Mesopotamia and China, roughly around the same time it was in Egypt. The oldest form of writing material, such as papyrus and ink, was also invented in ancient Egypt. Hieroglyphs are a form of pictorial that uses figurative ideograms that represent sounds and phonants. The Egyptians first used hieroglyphs, with inscriptions that were painted or carved on walls of temples and pyramids. The use of hieroglyphs facilitated the spread of Egyptian civilization. 2. Medicine and hospitals. The earliest form of medicine can be dated back to ancient Egypt. They used what they could find in their natural surroundings, such as herbs and animal products, to treat common ailments and also diseases at the time. They also were able to perform surgical procedures and dentistry. The earliest forms of hospitals were found in Egypt and can be dated back to around 2000 BCE. The hospitals were commonly known as houses of life, or per ankh. The early hospitals were known to have doctors and priests who took care of the patients. Around 1500 BCE, it is reported that workers who were working on royal tombs in the Valley of the Kings had doctors on site to take care of their health concerns. 3. Toothpaste. Egyptians are the earliest known users of toothpaste. They appreciated the practice of dental health. They are believed to have used toothpaste from as early as 5000 BCE, even before the invention of toothbrush by the Chinese. 4. Furniture and crafts. It is a well-known fact that ancient Egypt began making furniture around 3 century BCE. The most common form of furniture were tables and chairs, and then moved to build complex wooden crafts that made life easier as time went on. 5. Cosmetics and makeups. The Egyptians are reported to be pioneers in making makeups and cosmetics in ancient times. These were made for both males and females to enhance their looks. It can be dated back to 4000 years BCE. The cosmetics were commonly used by the royalty and dignitaries, which enhanced their appearance and their social status. 6. Diplomacy. Egyptians were among the early pioneers of enacting the concept of diplomacy. The earliest known peace treaty was between Ramesses II and Muwatalli II. The treaty was drawn in the year 1274 BCE, which was after the Battle of Kadesh in modern-day Syria. 7. Irrigation systems. The Egyptians used the River Nile for irrigation on their farms. They used water wheels and shadoofs to draw water along the banks of River Nile to grow plants. The shadoofs were long wooden structures that were tied to a pivot system that were attached to loads on one end and water basin on the other end, which would be lowered on water source to draw water. They also used dams and shallow canals which directed water from the Nile River to their adjacent plantations. The dams and canals would hold water for long periods and would be useful, especially when Egypt faced dry seasons. 8. Beekeeping. According to some historians, Egyptians were among the first to practice beekeeping, and the earliest evidence of this can be traced back to the 5th dynasty. Egyptians loved this practice and is seen in their depiction on wall paintings and hieroglyphs. They were also found in Tomb of Tutankhamun. 9. Record keeping. Egyptians are known for the practice of record keeping. Records were kept denoting the past, present dynasty's history that we can read to this day. King lists became popular, which was a practice of recording events and details about the present king. The earliest form of record keeping date back to 3000 BCE. 10. Architecture. This one needs no introduction. The earliest form of architecture can be traced back from 3rd Dynasty. This includes the Great Pyramids, temples, Sphinx, and other types of unique structures in ancient Egypt. The oldest and the largest of the 3 pyramids of Giza is known as the Great Pyramid, which is the only surviving out of the famed 7 wonders of the ancient world. This one was built for Pharaoh Khufu, or Cheops, known in Greek, who was Sneferu's successor and the second of the 8 kings of the 4th dynasty. It is evident that Egypt's architecture heavily influenced other civilizations such as Nubian, Greek, Mesopotamia, and the Mayan empires. That is all we had for you today. Please subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks for watching. We will see you on the next one.